Hamster who got richer than Warren Buffett in crypto trading dies. So that maybe doesn't sound as exciting, but wait until you hear this. According to Mr.Goxx's owners, which is the hamster's name on Twitter and News 18, Mr.Goxx, a crypto trading hamster, once beat indexes and funds like S&P 500 and Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway has passed away.
Oh, man.
So I didn't know what those are. I'm not really into trading, so I looked into it, and apparently S&P stands for the Standard & Poor's 500, or simply the S&P 500. It's a stock market index tracking the performance of 500 large companies listed on stock exchanges in the United States. And for the other one, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, apparently this man, Warren Edward Buffett, is an American business magnate, investor, and philanthropist. He's currently the chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. And this hamster beat all of them, at least last September.
I mean, the fact that it beat anything with Warren Buffett in its name is
Yeah, go
pretty
hamster.
impressive. Yeah. So, like, how exactly again did he beat him? Like, what was you said the hamster was a cryptocurrency trader or something?
Yeah, so this hamster powered a machine that was auto trading. And apparently last September, his cryptocurrency profile rose 24% in one day, which beat the records of the two aforementioned mentioned groups.
Wow.
And that's when he got popular.
And so the hamster, they're literally just a hamster running on a wheel.
Yup, and they live streamed it too.
Beat out that's amazing.
Well, wait a second. So does that mean that they beat out the hamster, beat out the trading amount or the profit amount for that day against Warren Buffett and the S&P 500? Or did the hamster beat the profit of Warren Buffett's total worth? Or did the hamster beat the total worth or the S&P numbers for more than a day? What is the clarification there?
Oh, so I don't claim to be an expert, so forgive me if I get this wrong. But as far as I understand, each of these groups and areas, they had their own profiles. They had their own they essentially had their own profiles where they'd keep track of current investment income per crypto trades, and they would post their investments and how much they would actually raise or fall. And I guess in this quarter, for profiles at least, this hamster made more profit, at least profile-wise, which I'm not an expert. I don't entirely understand what that means, but out of what I understand, he made more of a profit in September than the other groups, at least using their profile.
What they expected their own groups to make, he beat their expectations for their own things.
Out of what I understand, yes. But I find this stuff kind of confusing. So
I mean, I know.
It was for the entire month of December or
September. Yeah, apparently that hamster's profile growth just was better than theirs for that month.
Amazing.
And I don't know if it stayed that high or if it made more progress since, but that was the peak of Mr.Goxx's popularity, and that's how people found out about him.
Was Mr.Goxx? Did he have any like input to the actual cryptocurrency trade, or was he just like was it just the power source for the computer?
Honestly, out of what I know, he was just the power source, but feel free,
like, if they gave him like buttons
to look into that,
where you can train like a parrot to push buttons for food. Like, what if he just was pushing random buttons and he happened to get like he was clicking random things?
Yeah.
Honestly,
like the speed that he went on the wheel was like certain trades or something.
That actually is a really good question. Like, both articles I read did not mention that at all. All they mentioned was this hamster beat those boys. But, like, honestly, I think out of what it sounds like, he was just a power source.
Like, he was a sufficient power. Because when you think of cryptocurrency, I mean, I don't imagine he was powering a machine that was mining it. He was just powering a machine that was betting on it, right?
He was powering a machine that was trading. So I guess technically betting. It depends how you view that.
Essentially, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah, you're betting on, Well, I don't know how cryptocurrency trading
or investing
works. If it's like investing in stocks, but yeah, basically.
So
yeah,
you actually bring up a good point.
if he was powering a machine that was mining it, you would need a heck of a lot of. You would need more than one hamster.
Yeah, so that's why you bring up a good point. Because one of my theories is that he has Mr.Goxx has two anonymous German owners, which I allegedly are wife and husband. And my theory, at least my first theory, is that these two alleged individuals who own Mr.Goxx used him. They, I'm guessing that one or both are stock or crypto trade experts. They managed to raise their own profiles by 24%, use the hamster to gain attention, so that way the stocks that the hamster, or I guess the cryptocurrencies that they were trading into, that the hamster, quote unquote hamster is trading into, will gain more popularity and in turn gain more value. And so I think this was actually a public stunt that the two anonymous German owners did to actually get more money out of this. And they were doing all the trades. Right. The hamster had no input at all, but they want you to think the hamster had input.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's theory one.
When a company has a mascot.
I mean, personally, I kind of want to believe. I want to believe that Mr. What was his name?
Mr. Goxx.
Mr. Goxx. I kept thinking Mr. Cox. I'm like,
Mr. Goxx.
I mean, that is a name.
I mean, yeah, like, it just sounds funny.
COX, spelled with an X. What was that guy? There's a guy in like I think it was a Republican governor or some congressman. I think.
I have no idea.
They wanted him to change his name. Some guy wanted. I think it was in Ohio when they wanted one constituent wanted him to change his name because his last name was Cox, and it was like he thought it was obscene. Anyway, that's the other thing.
But yeah, Spencer Cox, governor of Utah.
Utah, one of those 4 other states, yeah. But yeah, back to Mr. Goxx, the real hero of the story. I mean, yeah, I kind of want to believe, but also, how did he come to pass?
Oh wait, we'll get into that. But I just want to quickly mention the name change thing reminded me. Did you guys hear of the Domino's Noid story, where a guy's I think his last name was Noid? And then Domino's made a character called the Noid. That was super annoying, and people actually annoyed the guy because his last name or first name was Noid. It was one of the two. And then he actually, it's kind of gruesome. He shot up a Domino's.
Oh my god.
Oh god, I thought you were going to say like he sued them or something.
No, the only relation is that it was for a name change, and he couldn't get his name changed, and people made fun of him, and he finally cracked. But yeah, good stuff. So like, Josh, what was your opinion? Do you think it was going back to Mr. Goxx? Do you think these shadow people in Germany are just using Mr. Goxx to leverage their own benefits?
Honestly, yeah, that makes sense. I was gonna say that's like what companies do with mascots. Company doesn't need to have mascot or invest so much money into it, but Geico is the gecko. I mean, Aflac is the goose or whatever. I think it's a good strategy.
That
now people are going to say, haha, that's the funny hamster stuff. I'll invest in that. And that'll raise the German couple's money too.
Yeah.
Or it's like Liberty Mutual with that bird and that really annoying fucking guy who's always
the Limu Emu.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it's called?
I don't even know what thing the bird is. I just
remember
that. I just know the guy because those fucking commercials are everywhere, and he's like, "Gotta only pay for what you need." And I'm like,
the bird is an emu.
That's the most interesting thing about it is that you've told me that the bird is an emu.
Yeah.
That is the only amount of joy I've gotten out of insurance commercials.
Oh, and Josh posted a pic in Discord.
That is a piercing gaze.
Oh, so
they are extremely dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, so like going back to Mr. Goxx though, Tyler, I know you just asked earlier, how did he pass away? Well, it's kind of a mystery. So this will also go into my second theory as well. But Mr. Goxx apparently has had kidney issues in the past. He got professional mite treatment, which apparently damaged his kidney when he was younger, and the shadow owners believe that may have had to do with his sudden death, because according to the shadow owners on Twitter, which they made a Twitter for Mr. Goxx, I don't think they're on Twitter, they still remain anonymous, it was he was perfectly healthy before he just passed away randomly. So
and then
it might have been a professional mite treatment, but what?
And then their stock plummeted.
Yeah, so this goes into my second theory. Actually, it's like two theories in one. But my second theory is that this cryptocurrency, this crypto trading hamster was losing interest. Like people kind of just like they thought it was cool at first and people stopped caring. So then the hamster allegedly dies to reinvest interest into the whole story and into their stock. So it goes back into my first theory that they're benefiting off this hamster.
Interesting theory.
I don't know about that second part.
I mean, interesting.
I think the
still.
first part is definitely plausible, but I mean, this is this couple's hamster. They would have to be very vain and very greedy to kill off a hamster just because they wanted a little bit more stock recognition.
But they're slimy business people. They remain anonymous for a reason.
Well, they're because
a lot of people remain anonymous for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah, like they don't want to be. They gave their hamsters 15 minutes of fame, and then I guess they had that too, and now they just want to be continuing to live their lives.
And it wasn't enough, so they had to bring it back in the loop.
But if they wanted more attention, they probably would have come out and given their names or put their names to something. Because remember, if they get the name investment by killing off the hamster, then sure, yeah. But it's not like an artist who dies and suddenly the work becomes a lot more famous. I feel like that's just going to extend. That's like a renewing it basically for another 5 minutes of fame, and then that's just gone.
I mean, fair point, but that's still.
I feel like to keep the hamster alive if they had tried to kill it.
No, but that's
like,
that's
what
the
if
thing.
they just tried and beat? What if they beat another record? Then they could keep editing up on the on these things.
Now, see,
and also, here's the thing: they don't even have to kill the hamster to get that publicity anyway. If they remain so anonymous, they could have just made the announcement.
Like you guys bring up good points, but that's the thing. Maybe the hamster, or maybe the shadow owners, weren't making any profile progress. That's why they weren't benefiting from the hamster anymore. They had to use him before he died of old age. Or maybe he actually just died of old age.
He probably did just die of old age, you know?
Probably died of old age.
That goes into my actual second theory.
You know?
So for my actual and final theory for this was that the S&P 500 banded together and smited this gerbil hamster. They killed him because they were jealous. Or it was the Buffett Berkshire hitmen that got together and got the hamster.
They sent a lightning strike onto the hamster.
Yeah, they hired a bunch of wizards and smited the hamster.
They smote him with the power of capitalism Jesus.
Or that, exactly. Could have been anything.
Yeah, they invoked his name.
All right, so it's either he actually died from a kidney failure from a professional mic treatment in the past, it was the S&P 500 wizards, or the Buffett Berkshire hitmen. I think it's one of those three. I got to the hamster.
Mr.Goxx. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, rest in peace, Mr.Goxx.
Yeah, R.I.P.
But yeah, he's a cute little gray hamster. He's actually really cute. I didn't save the article for this one. I saved my notes, it's not the articles, but I'll send you guys a picture later if you want.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look it up. Yeah, look it up. Mr.Goxx.
Is it Gox?
Oh yeah, Mr. it's Mr. Goxx.
That's close to being a. Okay, I'm getting Mr. Fox instead.
I am too.
Yeah, what? Mr. Gox. There we go.
Yeah, I'm just getting a bunch of pictures of Mr. Fox.
Okay, then no, we'll just continue that.
Well, no, just click the click search
I found it
for Mr.
Oh,
Gox.
he's cute.
Yeah. Oh, little guy.
Yeah, little guy who was killed by the S&P wizards.
His name was Max, Mr. Max Gox. Yes.
Oh wait, his name was Mr. Max Gox?
Well, it says thank you and rest in peace, Max, aka Mr. Gox.
Oh, so, I didn't know I didn't know his name was Max. Oh, look at that, more data. What the heck?
Yeah,
the two articles I read didn't mention that.
His full name is Max Gox.
He does look a little old. You could see his fur around his head in one of the pictures is lighter than the others, so it looks like he's graying a little bit.
No, which means the S&P 500 wizards recently smited him and he survived.
The S&P 500 wizards made him age so much that he had kidney failure.
Oh god.
Yes.
Oh lord. Wait, do you think since we're like speaking about this now they're gonna get after us? Oh god, good thing I didn't give our full names.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, we've uncovered
we're just talking lemus or emus. Please don't kill us. I mean, we're just birds. Don't worry about it.
Please don't kill us, Warren Buffett. We bow to your eternal wisdom.